finally back inside, and it is time to start reassembling the bed, storage area, all this. I mean, it's all one unit. So basically I'm gonna put it back together loosely. I'm gonna get everything in place, put a few screws down, but then I'm gonna lay some new carpet on top of each of these side sections. So I'm not going to fix anything that'll interfere with that, because I want a nice tight fit around those. So I'm gonna get as much in place as I can until I get the carpet down, and then I'll do the final screws and whatnot. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now, and maybe this will start to look something like a bedroom again. We got this one panel installed, so that's a good start. Some of the staples come loose in a couple of places here where there's some paneling right down in this corner, but we can fix that once we start stapling all that stuff back down. But so yeah, I just got a bunch of junk in here that's in the way, so I'm gonna have to make a little room, make sure I get everything back in here square, and then get going. The big panel that falls, it hinges, is sitting over there. One of the last things to put in, but I just need to make sure that it all fits up flush and square. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. I'm gonna make some room, sand down a little bit of this wood filler, and carry on. Okay, one step at a time. I've got the inside portion of this box frame mounted and secured. Again, these side panels over here on the top and on the bottom will more than likely be covered with carpet. I haven't decided what carpet yet. I actually have some scrap left over from another project that might work. We'll have to check and see. And if it does, that'll be great. I can wrap that portion up. If not, then we will pick up somewhere. So that's that. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can mount the top portion, the hinged portion that separates the storage from the pass-through up front, and hopefully we can get that into place and square it up with no issues. This is coming back together slowly. It's not difficult at all, just a few pieces to put back together and to trim out. So what I'm gonna do, I haven't fixed this top hinged portion yet. I need to cover these sides with carpet and get that finalized before I move forward. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can find something to put up there that may work. And now that I think about it, I'm probably going to need to go ahead and paint, get everything primed before I do this. So that's probably going to be the next step. All right, I've cleaned this area up a bit, vacuumed it off, wiped it down. Missed that somehow. And what I've done is I've pre-cut this carpet. This is some old carpet that I had left over that I'm hoping will work here. And I believe it will. It's not quite as wide as the other, because the other actually went in behind this and came inside here a ways. I'm not too much worried about that. I'm just gonna cut it to fit here, and I'm gonna use some spray adhesive and staple it down. And I think that'll be more than sufficient. But I think it'll go along with our color scheme pretty well. This is brand new stuff. I just had it left over for from some carpet that I laid in our house. So let's see what we can do here. I think there's plenty. I've got 2 strips of it that are this width and length. So there should be plenty to cover this up. Let me see if I can get it into place. I'll go ahead and dry fit everything, and then we'll take a look at it. All right, this is installed. So yeah, it's gonna be as good as I can do it with limited to no experience. I used a spray adhesive on the backing, this Gorilla spray adhesive, heavy duty, multi-purpose, yada yada. And it stuck pretty good. And then I put some staples along the edges. You can kind of see where the hole's at, but if you rough it up or run the vacuum across it, it usually hides those pretty well. So I'm not too worried about it. Not to mention, they're actually covered up by this board here, but you can't really even see them on the other side. So anyway, I'm gonna be happy with this. I mean, for what it cost me, which was nothing other than the adhesive, because I bought the carpet literally 3 years ago for another project. I think it's gonna work just fine. So there we have it. Now on to the other side. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but the carpet is in both sides. There's too much junk over there to really get a good eye on it.
But it's in. I used the spray adhesive again, and I used some staples, and I think it's gonna work just fine for us. These side tables are little nightstands. I don't know what you wanna call them. They have a drawer here. They actually fit on top of it, back in this corner. So that's gonna be covered up with that little arrangement there with a drawer. So this mainly provides a bit of insulation, some visual appeal, and some sound dampening. There's just thin plywood under this. So I say plywood, it's paneling. But anyways, that's what we've got. I think the colors are gonna tie in nicely. That's one more thing off the to-do list. So we're gonna keep pushing forward.